Today we had the biggest leak yet for the Lenovo Legion Go. It's going to be unveiled on September 1st. It's going to cost you $799 at the lowest end. You can buy it in October, and there's a lot more information available. This is going to easily be the best Windows handheld available based on the facts that we have today. And I'm going to talk about price last because it is high and a lot of the new info may explain the price. So let's get into it. First, this is the third leak from WindowsReport.com. The first leak was just the existence of the Lenovo Legion Go with some details, of course. The second leak was more info on the controls and the I/O and the existence of the Lenovo glasses. This, the third leak, finally gives us full specs on the handheld, and it also gives us details on Lenovo glasses and a new accessory, the Lenovo headphones. WindowsReport.com did issue a disclosure here. They said that, quote, the document we received was from an anonymous tipster. It contains 9 pages from the official press release that will be launched on September 1st across various media outlets. We haven't received such a document from Lenovo itself. It also contains a private link to a YouTube posted video with the full showcase of the product, but we've chosen not to share that publicly, end quote. That's funny because someone else leaked that video that you're seeing on screen now. All of these leaks seem a bit staged to me, but that is unsubstantiated, and the disclosure that Windows Report issued makes it sound like they are contradicting that directly. Also, they've probably had all of this info from the beginning and they're just slowly trickling it out leading up to September 1st. They had time for one more leak, and maybe it was going to be the video that they leaked before September 1st. But now that that video has been leaked by someone on Twitter, then maybe we've seen the end of the leaks until September 1st. What we know so far, of course, we're going to start with the screen. It's an 8.8-inch IPS display, so almost 9 inches here. One of the biggest screens we've seen on a Windows handheld. It's 2560 by 1600 or QHD+. That is a 16:10 ratio, which we'll come back to. Windows Report points out that this resolution, which is really a much higher than a lot of other devices, that this resolution is nice for using as a media consumption device. They say, quote, get rid of the gamepad controls and you have a mini tablet to watch movies on and YouTube on the go. Attach them and you can play Cyberpunk or Forza Horizon in just a few seconds. Neat, right? End quote. So yeah, I can see that happening. I can see it being for media consumption, and it also integer scales to 800p. This is a 16:10 display, as I mentioned, so it integer scales pretty nicely to the 800p on the Steam Deck. I know a lot of people are going to be looking for a 16:9 display, in which case 2560 by 1440 would have been better. Personally, I just hope that more and more games support the 16:10 ratio. It is a nice ratio, and also the display is BRR and 144 hertz refresh rate. It is nice to see the variable refresh rate here. It is one of my favorite features of the ROG Ally, and it is something that I miss whenever I go to another handheld. The variable refresh rate makes it so that performance is a lot smoother for games that have big spikes in frame time for one reason or another, which honestly, when you're playing very demanding games, it happens pretty often. So yeah, this is a top of the line display. I know some people would have liked an OLED or something like that, but yeah, 1600p, 8.8 inch. Also, it's 500 nits, so it matches the brightness of the Steam Deck and I think the ROG Ally as well. As for other specs, we finally got confirmation that this is the AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme, the same chip that is in the ROG Ally. For my taste, the ROG Ally has, lower performance than the 7840U, so I would have liked to see a 7840U, but hopefully these drivers that have been constantly updated will make it so that the Z1 Extreme can compete better with either the Steam Deck at the low end or with the 7840U on the high end. Hopefully it picks one of those lanes and does really well in that. As for the RAM, it's 16 gigabytes, 7500 megahertz LPDDR5X RAM. If I recall correctly, that's also better than the ROG Ally. And then it comes to storage, we have the option of 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes, or 1 terabyte. I'm guessing that the 256 gigabyte model is the one that's going to be $800. So we are going to see this probably climb up to above $1,000. That's interesting. And then let's talk about I/O. On the top of the device, we have a 3.5mm audio jack, and we have the USB Type-C port. It's USB 4.0, supporting DisplayPort 1.4 and Power Delivery 3.0. Similarly, the bottom of the device has another USB Type-C with the same exact specs. Next up is battery. It's a 49.2 watt-hour battery. That is also bigger than the Ally and the Steam Deck. It probably couldn't go any bigger than that considering the entire device weighs 2 pounds with the controllers on. One of the huge benefits here is that the battery has a super rapid charge. I assume that the specs are going to be similar to the ROG Ally. According to Retro Game Core, the Ally can get 50% charge in about 30 minutes. Based on the size of the battery in the Lenovo Legion Go, I would suspect that you're going to be able to get half charge in about 35 to 40 minutes here. As I said, the entire thing weighs 2 pounds with the controllers attached. It's 854 grams. The dimensions are also bigger than the Steam Deck. I think this is the first handheld that is actually bigger than the Steam Deck. It's 299 millimeters by 131 by 41, compared to the Steam Deck, which is 298 by 117 by 49. That is a big boy, and here's a quick shot of other popular handhelds right now and their respective weights. Now let's talk about controls, because I was right, or more accurately, my editor, High Tech Lowlife, was right. You can hold the controls normally for console controllers, but the other thing you can do when the controls are attached is you can hold the right controller like a mouse, like a vertical mouse. So you can hold it down on a flat surface, and the M1 and M2 buttons are going to be within easy access of your index and middle fingers, and it looks like the thumb is going to be able to reach the scroll wheel, the M3, the Y3, and maybe even the shoulder buttons. So that's pretty cool. They even show it in that trailer. It kind of looks like the dude is getting his ass beat in a shooter and he switches to mouse mode so he can get that good advantage. I like it. That's pretty awesome. And of course, this Windows report leak does talk about some accessories. They're going to be the Lenovo glasses. Those glasses have micro OLED displays, full HD per eye, so you get that full 1080p. It has built-in speakers, and these Lenovo glasses are going to work with any USB-C device. There's no proprietary implementation here, so I suspect they're going to work like the Vitro glasses or the X-Real glasses that we've talked about before, and they're even going to work with the Steam Deck if you want to do that. The cable is 1.2 meters long, and it looks like these glasses are going to start at $499, so certainly not cheap by any means. The other accessory they showed off are the headphones. They're called Lenovo Legion E510. These are gaming earbuds with RGB. And the Windows Report article does say this, quote, a pair of in-ear 7.1 surround sound headphones that, according to the press release, feature 10mm armature drivers. They are supposed to deliver punchy bass, balanced mids, and highs free from distortion, end quote. They also feature an inline controller for quick adjustments and a stylish RGB strip. Again, that's according to the WindowsReport.com leak, so that's pretty neat. And they start at $49.99. That price seems like it might not be bad. There is also a microphone on there I forgot to mention, but yeah, I think that price is not bad for what it is. Hopefully the audio quality does really deliver. If it does, I would absolutely be interested in that. When it comes to accessories, the only thing that was sort of conspicuous by its absence was the lack of a dock. The ROG Ally debuted obviously with a dock, and they had that proprietary port. Here, the Lenovo Legion Go does not have a proprietary port, so that is awesome. We can probably use USB-C Thunderbolt, but I would have liked to have seen a dock, especially with that USB-C on the bottom. Neo has their own dock that has a USB-C port built in so that you can just slide Neo devices onto it. Anyway, I fully expect that Lenovo is going to debut their own dock. I wonder what that's going to look like. I imagine that the price is going to be under $100 for that. Speaking of price, let's close this out with a discussion of the price of the Lenovo Legion Go. Like I said, it starts at $800. That's compared to the ROG Ally, which is $700 for the Z1 Extreme. The Steam Deck obviously is $400 to $650 for the 64GB model all the way up to the 512GB model, but also Steam Deck has the refurbs now. Those refurbs are sold out, so you can't get them, but the 64GB is as low as $319 and the 512 is $519. So I think that the Lenovo Legion Go is coming in at quite a high price compared to those, but it's not that high when you think of everything that you're getting here. You're getting a much bigger screen, you're getting bigger battery, you're getting a 144 Hertz screen that's also variable refresh rate, you're getting unique controls that no one else is doing. Look, I don't know how this is all going to land, but certainly Lenovo is being ambitious with this handheld. And if they do deliver, there's kind of no question that this is going to be the best Windows handheld out there by default. And the best part is, it seems unique enough from the Steam Deck to really justify its own existence and have a lane all to itself. So I'm really excited about this. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of everything: the price, the screen, the specs, and the accessories. I think this is a great leak. And of course, I'm going to keep you updated on how this develops. Decking out. Goodbye.